on this episode of the National Parks Roadtrip. In this video, I'm going to try to explain the process of trying to capture rainbows both during the day as well as during night. Bruh, this is just absolutely crazy. We got... Oh shit! This is the $6,000 A1 LCD screen. It's all bust up. But we begin our travels back home on Oahu. We arrived at the airport at stupid o'clock to make sure we checked in all our bags for our 7 a.m. flight. As you'll see in the upcoming vlogs, this wouldn't be the last time we had to get our tired asses up to travel. Whoever made this itinerary needs to be fired. Oh wait, that was me. But after gathering the crew and double checking our camera gear, we finally made our way over to Maui for a 3-hour layover. Yep, we definitely gotta fire this travel agent.
To conclude Maui, we will be taxiing for the next few minutes for your continued comfort, but most especially your safety.
But after stuffing our fat faces for the second time this morning, we finally was on our way to Yosemite. San Francisco.
Weather in San Francisco, gusty winds out of the southwest.
From San Fran, we would have to drive 3 hours to our motel in Mariposa, then drive another 1 hour to Yosemite National Park. A reasonable traveler would take this night off to rest and recover, but not us. The moon phase would be its brightest for our entire trip, which meant that after all that tiring travel, we were headed up to the park for an all-nighter mission. Alright guys, welcome to Yosemite National Park here at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're out here shooting Yosemite Falls. There's a little bit of moonlight as you can see, and that's actually giving us a lunar rainbow or a moonbow just at the top of the falls. We're out here with the Lazo household, Garrett, Michelle, and Johan. Happy that we were able to all meet up here in one of the best national parks. But this is the start of our big National Parks road trip. We're going to be shooting over here for a couple of days here in Yosemite, and after we're done here in Yosemite, we're going to road trip Utah again and try and shoot the Mighty 5 national parks. But yeah, I'm super stoked that we're here because the last time I was here in Yosemite, the waterfalls were all dry. So to come back here and to see how much the water flow is flowing, it really is just a dream come true to experience Yosemite at its best. But yeah, we're just kind of out here shooting the moonbow, shooting the waterfalls, getting our bearings, but I think we're gonna walk a little bit further down that way so that we can get a little bit more mist in the shot and get a little bit of a better angle to hopefully get a better moonbow shot. But yeah, just running a couple of time lapses out here. We've got the wide angle time lapse going with the 14mm, as well as a little bit more telephoto time lapse on this side with 24mm. But yeah, how's this for a start of a road trip? Absolutely incredible. This shot was taken just from the parking lot. Pretty cool that we were able to catch a little bit of the moonbow. But once we got our bearings, we headed out into the meadows to hunt for a better composition as the moon rose behind us. So some of you guys might be wondering, what the heck is a moonbow? Well, a moonbow, the technical term, is a lunar rainbow, and essentially it's the exact same thing as a regular rainbow, but it's instead of using the sunlight to create the rainbow, it's using the light from the moon. So that's pretty much exactly what we got here. We've got the moonlight illuminating the mist that's created by the waterfall, and we're just getting the same type of patterns. Now, it's quite difficult to see and visualize a moonbow with your own naked eyes. It more so just looks like kind of like a white band, but when you can use the camera and use long exposures and kind of adjust your settings, you can actually see it on the back of the camera, and it actually looks quite nice. But in terms of rainbows in general, not just moonbows, but also rainbows during the day, we need a couple of conditions to happen in order for us to get that rainbow. And in this video, I'm going to try to explain the process of trying to capture rainbows both during the day as well as during night. And hopefully give you guys a little bit of tips to shooting rainbows, especially if you're here in Yosemite, because during the springtime when the snow is melting and the waterfalls are flowing, that's optimal time to get rainbows with these waterfalls here. All right guys, so we walked into the meadows a little bit more, so hopefully we can get a little bit of a better angle on this guy, because the more mist we can see, then the more likely that we'll be able to get a decent shot of the moonbow. Okay, so in terms of weather, regardless of whether or not you're shooting rainbows during the day or during the nighttime, there's a couple of things that you need in order to get a rainbow occurring in Mother Nature in the first place. Number one, we need precipitation of some kind, whether that's rain, mist, fog, water spray from the ocean, or in this case, water spray from a waterfall. We need some sort of aerosolized water getting kicked up in the air. And we also need a light source, and that light source can either be from the sun during the daytime or the moon at nighttime. And you need pretty much like clear skies so that that sunlight or the moonlight can shine directly on your water source to create that prism and that refractory light that creates the beautiful rainbow that we all know and love. So when we're shooting waterfalls and rainbows here in Yosemite, it's probably the easiest to go where the water flow and the light is going to be the most consistent, which is using the water flow from the waterfall. And we want to line up our waterfall directly like 180 degrees away from our light source. So in this case, the moon is rising this way, and 180 degrees is the mist and the waterfall. So, we want the light directly catching our water source. But also, you have to keep in mind that during the daytime, or if there was rain going on here at night, there's also the real possibility that if we have precipitation on one side and our light source on the other, that's also a good recipe for possible rainbows as well. It's not going to be as consistent as the water flow coming down from the waterfalls, but it's still something to keep in mind when you're out there shooting. But I think we're just about finished over here. I'm gonna try and walk down a little bit more by the bridge and see if we can get a reflection shot of the waterfalls and the river. Hopefully it works out well. Bruh, this is just absolutely crazy. We got double time lapse going. We got the 20mm and the 14mm both time lapsing the moonbow, but we've got a perfect reflection right here, right below us. It's just absolutely incredible. Switched to the 24mm for vlogging, but man, this is absolutely incredible. Let me show you guys what it looks like in video mode, in slow-mo video mode, and you guys tell me what you think. But man, this is absolutely some incredible stuff that we're getting right now. So as you can see right now, we're getting extremely slow shutter speed, but we've got the moonbow happening right there. We've got some on this side as well as some right there below the waterfall. But then if we pan down, try and do this slowly here. If we pan down towards the water, you can see that we get like a perfect reflection of the waterfall as well as the moonbow down here on this side. So yeah, we're getting some crazy stuff right now. This is the kind of stuff that photography dreams are totally made out of, but this is incredible. This really is incredible. So we're out here with the man himself. There's Darwin, trying to get some moonbow shots, some reflection shots here. But I've set up this camera as more so of a telephoto time lapse. It's zoomed in, trying to capture the moonbow that way. What an incredible night for astrophotography, for moonbow photography. Can't ask for anything better than this. But I think this is gonna be like the one and only night that we chase moonbows, because from this point on, the moon is gonna progressively get less and less. So the likelihood that we're gonna be able to get light like this just gonna dissipate as the week goes on. But we're gonna try and chase rainbows during the day, so stay tuned for that. But just gonna let these time lapses roll out, and we'll see you guys in a couple of hours for sunrise at the classic tunnel view, this time with some waterfalls in the foreground. Woo. Wow. All right, folks, welcome back to the classic and iconic tunnel view. We still got a couple of hours until sunrise, but I wanted to try and get a shot here with the little bit of moonlight that we have left illuminating the mountain peaks, and try and get a shot with the stars, because it's pretty blank skies. We're gonna get some light rays coming through hopefully, but I think the uniqueness of the shooting here at Tunnel View this morning might come from actually getting a shot here in the middle of the night. Me personally, I think just really proud of myself for getting out here at real stupid o'clock, to be the first photographer set up here at Tunnel View. That's an achievement. I always pride myself on being the stupidest one to work harder and chase the shots harder than anybody else, any other photographer. So the fact that I'm the first photographer here at the iconic Tunnel View, that's gotta feel good, Everyone's starting to file in. I'm the only one that's stupid enough to be out here in this cold, but yeah, just waiting for that sun to rise. The crew finally made it out after a very restful nap in the car that I'm very jealous of. Johan's still taking his nap. He left his camera here for me. And this place has officially become a zoo. Well, at least I got all my friends here to keep me company. There's the lights starting to kick off. Oh my God. And now the sun came up and it's way too harsh. had like a brief moment of light when the sun was right above Half Dome. Oh man, but still had to wait a little while, but still very beautiful, beautiful scene in front of us here at Tunnel View. After this all-nighter, you can probably tell that we were all cold and exhausted. After a quick drive out of the park, we ate our ghetto hotel breakfast, then hit the hay. We woke up around lunchtime to grab an epic Chinese meal, and from there we headed out to chase more rainbows around the park. Alright guys, so after a less than restful day of sleep, we're back out here in the park for late afternoon / sunset shoot. And we pulled up to the base of Bridalveil Falls, and there was a little bit of a rainbow, and there's quite a bit of afternoon light still left. So hopefully by the time where we get to the falls, some light clears up and we'll be able to get a rainbow shot from the base of the falls. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's definitely there. Oh my god, it's so gigantic. That's what she said. I think this is gonna be handheld. There. Oh shit! I totally just have the A7 IV on right now, but I can't risk changing cameras right now because it's so awesome. Oh, there it goes. We have to wait for the sun to come back and then we probably will be able to get it again. Watch out, let me you in my vlog now. There it is again. This whole thing is covered in water, but that's totally fine. Anyways, when we're talking about trying to shoot waterfalls during the daytime, our sun again is 180 degrees away from our light source, and we just got like an incredible rainbow with all this mist happening right below us. The trouble is now that technically it's going to be very difficult to take a very technically sound landscape photography shot because there's so much sea spray. So right now I've got the 16-35, I've got it opened up all the way to f4. That way if there's any water droplets on the front of the lens, then it's gonna be kind of blurred out. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna wait for this light to get better, a little bit better, and produce that bigger rainbow again. We've got some clouds kind of blocking the sun right now, but once those clouds clear, the rainbow should come back. Yeah, the clouds didn't end up clearing as we hoped. We made plans to come back to the falls tomorrow in hopes of capturing another rainbow. We then headed over to Valley View to catch sunset. Okay guys, welcome back to Valley View. We've got our time lapse set up very sketchily on that log. Hopefully nothing knocks it over into the water or anything, but we've got a good amount of clouds, you know, overlooking the valley, so we're just gonna wait and see if there's any sort of color that lights up the mountains or lights up the clouds. This would be a pretty cool shot. We've got the raging river here below us, and yeah, I got some nice patterns in the water. Hopefully we'll be able to get a good shot here. But my goodness, this afternoon was absolutely crazy in terms of the rainbow. It was like very, very technically difficult to shoot because the waterfall and all the spray and all that was just all in our faces. So, you know, the plan is tomorrow, hopefully the weather is clear, but to try and go for a couple more rainbow shots. Hopefully we can deliver our tutorials with a little bit more of a succinct, detailed message, while at the same time, you know, trying to keep everything dry and under control. But yeah, I think we're gonna skip out on sunrise tomorrow because we're still a little hungover from our all-nighter this morning. And yeah, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, just gonna watch the sunset. I'll update you guys if there's anything crazy that changes, but if not, just enjoy this very simple, classic time lapse here in Yosemite National Park. The following day, we got off to a rough start. This Mexican food place was just alright, nothing like the Chinese food that we had yesterday, but then we got stuck attempting to drive into the park. Alright guys, welcome back to Yosemite. We are currently stuck in this long ass line of traffic. I don't know why. We tried to go to the sequoia trees once again, but this time the shuttle was broken and we're like, nah, we just want to shoot the waterfalls today. So we drive back up here towards the southern entrance by Tunnel View, and we're just like stuck here on this road. So I don't know. We'll see how long it takes us to get into the park, if we can get any shots today or not. We finally got through, but check out this video as we're driving into Yosemite, the main part of Yosemite. Once we got in, we booked it to Lower Yosemite Falls, but unfortunately by that time the light was too low for any possible rainbow shots at these falls. And we're back here at the base of Bridalveil Falls once again. Yesterday, we only got the rainbow initially when we first got to the falls, but there was a bunch of clouds blocking the sun, so we didn't get any more. But now, we're back today and it looks more clear, so hopefully we can get something similar or even better today. After grabbing a few test shots with the river as my foreground, I was satisfied with the composition, but I asked myself, would a rainbow even be possible to capture from this angle? Well, thankfully, I knew how to get the answer to that question. Okay, so the question that we had was, would a rainbow over here be possible to shoot? To answer that question, we're going to use an app called Rainbows, and this is how you can kind of plan your rainbow shots or frame up your rainbow shots with a particular composition. We're gonna fire up an app called Rainbows. It's gonna be this one right here. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna basically do an augmented reality function, similar to how the augmented reality function for photopills works. So what we're going to do is we're gonna face our composition, press View Rainbows, and as you can see, the sun is pretty much directly above this way, so this is where our shadow is going to be. And rainbows, like we mentioned earlier, do about a 180-degree angle away from the sun. So you can see that the rainbows that are going to occur now are very low on the horizon. But what we can do here is we can adjust the date and time in our settings here to get a better idea of how the rainbow will look later on in the day. Here, so we're going to go to General, General, date and time, set automatically, and we're going to set the time maybe about an hour from now, so about 5:50, about 6 p.m. and then we're going to relaunch the Rainbows app, View Rainbows again, and as you can see, our shadow point's a little bit different and our rainbow is a little bit higher. So later on in the day, or the lower your light source is, the higher your rainbow is going to be positioned. So let's say we do it even one more hour, and I think sunset is maybe about like 7 o'clock-ish. So let's just do like 6:45-ish. Actually, in fact, let's just go 6:30, because that way the sun is going to be pretty low in the sky at that point. And as long as our horizon stays clear, we flip back to the Rainbows app. You can see here, this is probably the angle and the time period that we're going to want to start shooting at, around 6:30-ish. To get the rainbow just kind of at the lower part of the falls. Even if we dial it in even more precise, like maybe about 6:45, if we go back to the app, boom, that's going to be perfect right below the waterfall. This is probably all going to be in shadow, but then the light will happen on the waterfall itself. So hopefully we'll be able to come back and snag that shot. We'll see how the light looks around that time, but for now I think we're just going to go a little bit further up and try and see if we can get a rainbow in the same area that we were yesterday. All right, so we're gonna start by hitting up some of these flows with just the rainbow first. It's still a little early. You can see that there. Hopefully you guys can see that there. So essentially what we're doing here is we're waiting for the waterfall to create a big splash of like mist that comes towards us. And because we have the light so high in the sky, we're kind of shooting down towards the river. And when all that mist rolls in, it can create some beautiful rainbows. But I wanted to show you guys the importance of having a polarizer on your lens when shooting the rainbow. So we're gonna wait till the rainbow gets more and more intense. It's almost there. We've got a little bit of a mist coming towards us right now. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, it's crazy. It might be a stupid idea, but I'm gonna try and go down a little bit and catch more of the bow. Anyways, we mustered up the courage to walk a little bit further down to get better angle on the water flow. But yeah, this and this rainbow is just producing absolutely beautiful results right now. I think there's one coming out here right now. We can grab this shot here. Woo! So I wanted to kind of show you guys here the importance of having a polarizer for your rainbow photography. Now what a polarizer will do typically is either cut down or amplify glare. But when the water and all the mist and all that stuff is being kicked up and refracted in the air, the polarizer can also cut down or intensify the rainbow itself. So I'm gonna wait just for a brief moment till we get the rainbow to come back and fill this entire scene again. And I'm gonna show you guys the effect that the polarizer will have on the rainbow. And that's why, like, if you're ever gonna go out and shooting rainbows out in Mother Nature, a circular polarizer is a must because how much it can change the intensity of the rainbow. Starting to get some rainbow right now. As you can see, if we turn the polarizer, there's some of it that can cut down on the mist. But if we really intensify it, you can see how much more vibrant that rainbow gets. Oh my God, look at that. That's nuts. That's crazy. Even better than yesterday. Oh my God. Everything is getting soaked, so I'm going to take a few shots and I'm going to probably run away. So when you're shooting in these types of conditions where the spray is just in your face, you just have to shoot wide open. But man, that rainbow is really, really nice. Super intense. Because you're shooting at like f4 or whatever, it's gonna kind of blur out all the water droplets on the lens. So it'll really help out your composition here. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, I hope that my cameras don't break. Good thing we're heading to Vegas after, so if it does break, I can pick up another one. Oh my God. After taking a shower at the base of Bridal Veil Falls, I rushed back to the river in hopes of capturing the shot that I scouted out earlier. But by me rushing around, I ended up making a mistake that almost ruined the entire trip. I made a big mistake. So we're back here on this side trying to get the rainbow, and I'm rushing out to the composition because there's rainbows happening right now in the mist and stuff. But as I'm rushing, I'm like, you know, not really tightening my camera on the tripod, and I drop the camera. And this is the $6,000 A1 LCD screen is all bust up. But the good news is that it still works. Everything works as it's supposed to be. So hopefully I can just get this camera through the rest of this trip and then repair it after. But yeah, there's a couple of tiers of rainbows kicking off, so I'm gonna try to see if we can get this shot here. This is what I get for trying to rush. Because yeah, there's like a rainbow kicking off on the bottom of the waterfall, and there's a rainbow kicking off at the top. my stupid ideas just keep getting worse and worse. But look at that happening right now. It looks so good. I'm soaking wet, the cameras are soaking wet. But man, the rainbows are intense right now. They look so good. Okay, so we're about to lose our light. What I think I'm gonna do is try and use the rest of this time just to get a little more telephoto shots with the big rainbow right underneath the falls. But oh man, I'm still salty about this stupid LCD screen. But you know, it could have been worse. The whole camera could have been broken, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get this before it's too late. What an epic trip to Yosemite. I'm down one camera LCD, but up 3 or 4 bangers from this trip. So whew, yeah, this is nice. I gotta go wallow in my misery now without my camera. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this travel video. I hope you got some helpful tips for photographing rainbows, especially if you find yourself here in the beautiful Yosemite National Park. Just remember to take your time and secure all of your equipment. Otherwise, you may lose more than just an LCD screen in the process. Viewing Yosemite at its best, with the waterfalls going this time, was definitely an experience for the ages. What a way to start off this incredible road trip. Coming up next week on the National Parks Road Trip. Oh man, this is an epic shot right here. Check out this sunset happening behind us right now. It's just looking... there it is.